Hello, everyone. Kim here, Abundant Life Tarot. Welcome, welcome. Thought I'd get on here real quick. I'm not going to stay too long, but I thought, weekend wake up call readings, couple card pulls for a few of you who are feeling called for a message, or maybe you have a question. We'll see what the cards have to say. I'm just going to try to stick to 2 cards, and I'm going to use this deck. And this one, I think. So, without further ado, let's get started. Oh. Yay. So, I'm here, folks, and we're finally getting rain. And I'm happy. And it caused me to oversleep. But that's a good thing. How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? I'm using the Curious Travels Tarot deck. I may have to hop off of here because I have to, what do I have to do? I have to do something to do for a client. So by 3:59, I'll be on. Let's see what's our card for today. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. I am so loving this deck. The Curious Travels Tarot deck. I just got 9 of Cups. So, anyways, while I have you here, and what we're doing today is I am pulling cards for those who would like a card pull in this next hour, and just chit-chatting with you all. Some updates about the channel while we are sitting here. Also caffeinating. So yeah, I'm going to start trying to come on here more regularly. Ooh. All right. Got our cards. So yeah, what's cooking up? I think with Mystery Mystic, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be pausing on taking on new cases or doing like whole new cases for a little bit, taking a break. But I'm still going to be looking back at past cases. We've covered a lot of different ones, and I don't always like to revisit them because oftentimes the readings will stand on what they stand on. So there, for me, it's like it's not necessary to keep going back to look at it, or you could go back and look at the original reading for information. But now that some time has passed on some of the older cases that we've covered, starting in October of 2021 is when I started doing Mystery Mystic readings. There's been quite a few that I would like to maybe do just a quick energetic check-in. And I'll be probably asking you all in the community tab, like maybe polling you on like which cases should we explore next. These are older ones that we covered. They were new at the time, but now they've grown cold, or what's going on with them? What's the updates? So that's what we're going to be doing with that. So I thought I'd share that with you all. That's an update, but I'm still going to be here, still going to be doing lives, visiting other people's channels, coming on here Thursdays or Fridays or Mondays, live or a premiere. So I'll still be around, but it's busy season for me as a reader. And so I have to ebb and flow with that, you know? Hi, Carolyn, my friend. How are you? I like your little ghost. How are you? just me and you. I was working with the Curious Travels Tarot deck. And listen to this. So I got Queen of Wands, right? Good job. I'm glad you are studying, friend. Hit them books. Prepare, prepare. I'm good. I'm great, actually. Oh my God, I'm great. It's overcast today. And, when you get sunshine most days of the year, that's fabulous. I love sunshine. But there's something to be said about an overcast day. And maybe that's because I'm originally from the Bay Area, California. I don't know. It feels autumn today. So, yes. I love that Curious Travels and love Overcast. I just love both. And I'm feeling it. Like, look at this. So the Nine of Cups then came out. Look at how they go together. And then from the Spirit Animal Wisdom, I got Honeybee, Divine Feminine. You are being called to rise. So that Queen of Wands energy, receiving your blessings, you're being called to step into your power. We're in the Death card period, surrendering to change. What's changing in your life that you've been resisting? And this is that season. There's been many little opportunities for me to see how the Death card energy has been playing a role in my life since we've entered it. I guess, what is that, like October 21st to 23rd to November 20th, 21st, right? Scorpio season. And I just feel this call to just release, get back to a life of ease, shedding what's not working and being okay with it, not making any apologies for saying no or doing something different. Just divine feminine and receptivity, going with the flow, receiving. I love the honeybee. Don't they look good together? I'm going to have to do. So I did a tarot combos video for the Curious Travels Tarot and the Oracle of the Essences. I'll publish that sometime this weekend or next week on the channel. But I think I might have to also do the Curious Travels Tarot deck and the Spirit Animal Wisdom. See how they look. Yes, they do. So let's look at honeybee. Air and earth are the elements. Sorry, I'm just taking in the message. It says, if you pull this card, you're asked to look at all aspects, the ways you let the light into yourself, your heart, your space. Shine a light on all you see. Sending healing light is powerful and can be done simply by holding the person or place you want to heal in pure light. Transformation, right? There is a multitude of higher vibration light hitting the earth that you can welcome in. The great wave of light that comes to each from, she says from 2020. So I'm guessing this guide book was written in 2020. She says the great wave of light that comes to each from 2020 onwards brings strength, embodiment, alignment, and empowerment. Welcome its light and the grand central sun, Helios, to shine down on you today. Let Mary Magdalene guide that light into the pink rose that is your heart. Crystal companions you can work with for this divine feminine energy, this creative divine feminine energy with the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Cups is bumblebee, jasper, rose quartz, and ruby. I do not have bumblebee, jasper, or ruby, but I do have a lot of rose quartz. So I'm going to be real that energy this weekend for, that's our collective reading here. I'm going to be with that energy. I am feeling more creative. Are you feeling more creative? If you're not, this is now your time to play, have fun, do something just for the sake of fun this weekend. 9 of Cups. Smile, feel the riches of the moment. Even in the moment, we can feel abundant, right? Hey, Adam. Hi, how are you? Thank you for being here. Thank you. We're just talking about my latest addition to the collection, The Curious Travels. Oh my goodness. Have you all heard of, I should show you, the Earth? It's a Low Scarabeo deck. Is it Earth Mother Tarot? I'll have to look it up. I saved it just recently. What decks are you all loving and working with and being called to use this time of year? Wherever you are, Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere. I love rose quartz too. I have tons of it because I do a lot of love readings. And really, stones with that pink or that fuchsia ruby like color could be very good for receptivity and love and giving and sharing of love. And yeah, so it doesn't have to be rose quartz per se, or even ruby. Ruby, isn't that like a precious stone? I don't know if like you could find correct me if I'm wrong. Can you find like rough, like ruby, like you can say calcite? I don't know. Don't know. So yeah, let's see what other combos we get. It's fun. Oh, yeah. You see, I knew it. Ruby is a precious stone. That's right. I was like, ruby. Rubies. I would love to be with rubies, but no rubies around. So Adam, so he wants to know about the dinosaurs, whether naturally wiped out by a 100% natural disaster, or were they wiped out by a reptilian entities or an Anunnaki to reseed Earth? Big rabbit hole question. That is a huge rabbit. That is out of my realm of expertise, but I might have a deck that could take a stab at it. I might. So you know how we all have our tarot or cartomancy specialties, or what kind of readings we're like we feel confident in doing, or it just resonates with us in this in this life space that we're in. When I first started out, like general life readings were cool for me. Career readings, that's where I like started. And yes, some spirituality readings, but then I went into love readings. And then somehow I landed into like true crime type of readings and the mysterious, and not really celebrity. I've tried celebrity readings, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm not that nosy enough to like want to do a reading on them. But nevertheless, some of these other topics are like way like out of like, it's like maybe a pediatrician, like somebody saying, oh yeah, you could totally be a surgeon. You're like, I don't know. That's out of my realm of expertise, but we could try. We could try. So I think the way to try is I have a deck that I think could work. Have you done a reading on this, Adam, already? I thought I heard that the Anunnaki used a nuclear type weapon, so who knows? I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea on the deck. Now that you said that, a nuclear weapon. Um, and I suppose like any deck could do for this reading, but I'm gonna look for one. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know nothing about this. Yeah, heck of decks, friends. In the spirit of Halloween, I'm gonna use the zombie tarot. Oh, because you just said nuclear. I'm like, yes, absolutely. I don't know. I feel like if we ground our energy, I shuffle, we pull some cards, and we see what come up, and then we allow those images that our intuition kind of guide us. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to, go too wild and crazy on the question to convolute it. That's my approach to Adam's question. Let me let me put that back up here. Okay. I have done one, but I want to see if you get the same. I get a very complex scenario, but I study conspiracies and extraterrestrials. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Yeah. All right, Carolyn, for sure. We will chat and I will look forward to seeing that. Thank you. My interest is piqued. So, okay. Adam has done one. But he got a very he's into conspiracy. So you do conspiracy type of reading. See, there's a whole nother like genre or specialty of readings that you could do. So I'm going to go back here. Can I ask about the dinosaurs, whether they were naturally wiped out? Or something greater than them? I don't know. I don't know. Huh. I'll go with it. We just gonna go with it. I'm not gonna question it. We just gonna go with it. I know, right? Adam, do you have a channel? So now I'm gonna work with. I'll show you in a moment what I got from the zombie tarot, and then I'm working with the Enigma, or well, it's like a game, but I use it as an oracle. Dinosaurs. And I'm going to be curious. I'm going to need y'all's help. I'm not going to be able to interpret this. No, Spirit, I want clear messages regarding what actually happened with them damn dinosaurs. Wow. Oh. Okay. 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 Now I'm going to show you first the tarot, but I feel like the oracle from the Enigma oracle, I feel like it gets a little bit more clear to me. So first we got strength. Strength. Oh no, the hermit is throwing me off. Some kind of isolated incident. And look at the sun. You see that bright light? The sun, well, there it is. Doesn't that look like, God forbid, we never, like, I hope we never see it, but like, oh my God, there's something coming here. Ah, like that. Doesn't that feel like that? Yes, they're higher though. So I guess you could be like, this is a higher being, I suppose. But that's what my eye is drawn to as it relates to the dinosaurs and what may have happened to them. I know we have been told, right, that some sort of big old, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a long time since I've been in school, but an asteroid hit, caused absolute chaos, a dust cloud covering the sky. I don't know. Floods, water raised, people, dinosaurs died or whatever, all life just kind of was gone, right? So now I'm going to show you the oracle. We have fire, water. Now look at this. Adam, this is for you. Lungs, but look at the little bit up here. So I got to go back and look at your reading again. I have, oh, there it is. Little guide for this. I got decks and books everywhere. Let me see what he says. I'm off the grid. I do in-person readings. I do want to start doing videos though. Oh, it'd be fabulous. You know, you've got support with us. You're off grid. That's right. You got a channel going. A nuclear weapon. Uh-huh. Nuclear weapon. I got that. ET's engineered a natural disaster to wipe out dinosaurs to reseed Earth with us. Well, Adam, I mean, I suppose that's kind of what, especially this card, that supports that, right? I mean, look at that. So Althea Grace, I've been on her channel a couple of times now, and Adam, you've been on over there as well. And we were inspired by some questions you asked us, and we are planning on our next reading will be like the mysterious, like the great mysteries like this, right? Or unusual types of readings. And so that reminded me, I wanted to thank you for that, because we are planning to get together hopefully soon on her channel or mine. And we're going to do those types of readings, the great mysteries. But nevertheless, back to our reading about the dinosaurs. I mean, this was the last card of all the cards. Strength, weaponized, something weaponized here. Now, when I look at this hermit, you see, it's kind of hard to see it because it's dark, but you see all those little hands? And this woman laying on the couch, she's blissfully unaware, living her life, but there's like some entity that knows of her awareness or knows that she's there, knows of her presence, and they're trying to get to her. I just feel like, well, what was the purpose of killing the dinosaurs? Why would ET want to do that? To clear out the lands with the sun? And the helicopter, they're floating around, flying up there. I don't know. You might be onto something, Adam, because we got fire, creating the natural disaster, this asteroid, the waves of the waters rising up. There's the water card. And finally, the lungs. Isn't that trippy? So trippy. That I don't know. I don't know. I think you might be onto something. I think you're right. I think there could be some truth to that. It's just, some people may struggle to make the leap. I'm looking here at the lungs card. Listen to the lungs card meaning. Necessity, a gift, the underlying structure of a situation. And seeding, you said. I don't know. I think this card, I think all I needed was this card to answer the question. Kind of trippy, actually. Kind of trippy, Adam. I don't know. Thank you for your question. So it'll be fun to do these types of questions with someone alongside to kind of bounce off. Like, what do you think this symbolizes? What do you think that symbolizes? Those are fun to get into. And I encourage you all to explore different types of readings. You never know what you may be really called and gifted to deliver in readings. And for those who come to me because maybe you get readings from me, this is just to let you know we come in all shapes and sizes and belief systems and backgrounds, us readers. And yeah, so it's just interesting. There's a reader for everyone because we all are so unique. And I feel blessed by the people. I always say, I'm so glad you found me. I'm so grateful you found me. Like you were led to me. You were called to somehow see me or find me and work with me. And yeah, and it's a beautiful connection. So we come all shapes and sizes and all kinds of readings. I love the Enigma. I rarely use it, but for certain types of readings, it speaks so clearly. And really, you only need one or three, 1 to 3 cards. And it's a game. So I think you can buy this on Amazon now. When I bought it, this was indie. I don't know how, like, if it's what edition. I'm assuming first edition. I don't know. But I printed off this little guide, and it's a game. But you also can use it for divinatory purposes. So there. I love me this deck. Enigma. Carolyn says, interesting. Isn't that trippy? It's trippy. I don't know if I'm picking up on Adam's reading and just be like co-signing for it. Like it was so interesting how the cards spoke to it. Or are we actually picking up on what happened? Like, I don't know. Kind of blows my mind. Love Zombie Tarot. What a direct reader, much savvier and sharper than it looks. It is. And yes, I'm using it during, like right now, it's like a week before Halloween or whatever, but you could use it all year round. It really is a straight shooter. You don't need a lot. It gets straight to the point. And if you just take a moment to look at the symbolism, even with this brain and the bullet, like, I don't know. That's an interesting depiction of the strength card. But I really like the Hermit. She's choosing to be on the couch reading a good book. She's blissfully unaware of what's going on in the outside world. Yeah. And I'm also very much into zombie apocalypse type of shows and movies, always have been, even ever since a little girl, ever since Night of the Living Dead. So I absolutely love this deck because it harkens to my love of zombies. And I know there's tons of zombie decks out now, but this one is it's a little cheeky and I like it. It just, I don't know, it works for me. But I am aware that there's other zombie decks out there. I get a little picky. Once I get one deck in a particular genre, if you will, of my collection, I try to pace myself and not go crazy and be like, oh, I need all the zombie decks. Because really, do I? Do I? I don't know. Right? I think so too. I think that lungs card, hands down, told us what we needed to know about the Stitch. I mean, with the little UFO at the top, I'm like, and it's really kind of, it's this deck. This is a trippy one. I rarely see people use it, but I don't know if it's because people don't necessarily. I'll show you some of the images. I don't. There's the lungs card again, because they think, oh, maybe they just don't know about it. Here's the card backs. Here's love. They have all the elements. Telepathy. Magic. I've done I'm pretty sure on the channel I've done videos on this deck. Magic. We got moon phases. Alchemy. Very unusual. But that's what drew me. Like, it actually plays really nicely with the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. I used to do readings with it a lot, with those two as a combo. War. Divining. Can you see that? So, look, visitation. So there's some conspiracy decks out there too, like Oracle decks I've seen on Etsy. I just haven't found one that draws me in. And one day I was like, I want to start doing those types of readings, especially if Althea Grace and I like regularly come back together from time to time to do those types of readings. We'll also do our, pulls for people who want readings, of course. But I wanted a deck that could answer those questions. I'm like, surely I have something in my collection already I can work with. And lo and behold, I do. So I probably have other ones. Like I love, and another one that I think people don't know how to quite work with it, but I think it's a really good deck. It's another Oracle. Put a rubber band on the box. The Pathfinder Oracle. Oh my gosh. It's square. And some people don't like square decks. So that could be also a challenge. But I thought it was brilliantly done. Square, right? Oop, got corners. So you have like the different little moon phases. And if depending on how the card comes up, you would read the moon phase of it. So there's moth. You can read the aspect that pops up. I usually, if it pops up in a diamond like this, and I will read whatever that moon phase is, because there's a little guidebook. There's beetle. Salmon. I really like this deck a lot. I love the colors. I love the just uniqueness of how you can work with it. It's not too, sometimes with other systems, it can become a little cumbersome. Like you're like, what was I supposed to do again? Okay. All right. I'm shuffling my cards. I'm trying to figure out, oh, wait, what was I supposed to do again? What position? What's going on? Oh, this is from this new suits. They do their own suits in this system. it can get a little complicated. This is very straightforward. You shuffle, and then whatever comes up in terms of the moon phase is what you read. So let's look up snake. And so the full one is a positive. Snake is fluid, slippery, and guile. It's about to weave between the physical and metaphysical worlds. Rules are meant to be broken when they don't benefit you, and it sees straight through the deceit of others and doesn't hesitate to call it out. So then if you got this here, if the card comes up in that position, negative, it says you will find it hard to express your worldview and opinions to others who think you are beneath them. You bear the brunt of others' fear while they misunderstand your true intent. In the active symbol, it says call yourself in prepare, excuse me, active, it says coil yourself in preparation to strike. And then the passive, this is passive, I think. Shed your old skin, release the old, and embrace the new. That goes with the Scorpio season situation we got going on, death card period. Yeah, so, yes, indeedy. I'm assuming you're talking about the Enigma or the Pathfinder. That card and seating. Ah, yeah, and seating. Yes, that's right. With the lungs card. I agree. I was like, it looks like the root systems, like of a tree. That's why it's nice to keep different types of cards. Exactly. I have no shortage of decks to go and peruse and grab for. And I like that. I love options. I love, love, love options. So, let's see. Okay. I do very unusual, unconventional readings, conspiracies, mysteries, past lives. Those are interesting. Fake news. I love that. Politics. I do politics, but usually offline, usually amongst like friends, not necessarily, or just for myself or friends or whatever. Not for friends, but we just get a kick out of looking at politics with the cards. But yeah, you do ETs and the mediumship ones most recently, connecting with the past on souls and their messages. I have been thinking a lot about mediumship and cartomancy and how I think that I'm starting to segue into those types of readings, and I never would fashion myself or say, oh, I'm a medium, I'm a reader, that's how I identify in terms of the divinatory arts. But there's been a couple of times I've done readings, not just the true crime ones, but for friends who've asked me to do readings or family friends of people who had just recently crossed over. And it's like, okay, I may be ready to step into that arena. Those are fun, interesting readings, Adam. Those are indeed. Let's see. Love TV shows and books on fantasy stuff. Absolutely. I'm really hoping they release a Walking Dead tarot. I'm surprised they haven't, right? I would get, now that I might get, because I watch mostly all of the seasons up until, no, even after we moved here. I still was buying the season on Amazon. But I think when a lot of my favorites left the show, I was kind of like, I'll just catch it when I catch it on Netflix, when they finally put it on Netflix. But I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan. If people start talking mess about Walking Dead, that's going to be a problem. I don't want to hear about people like, I can't stand that show. I don't care. I like it. I love zombies. The Walking Dead? Or the Enigma? Yes. I know you do. You've recommended some decks to me in the past during our Friday in the Facebook group, our Friday catch-ups on what decks we were loving. And there's been some that have that red, um, black, bold kind of combos. And even with this blue, I think I like, I sometimes crave a little bit of, what is it? I don't know what kind of art style this is. It's definitely like vintage, but it's not like fine art. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. And I like the colors. I definitely love the colors. You know what's interesting? There's multiple divination cards, it looks like. Yeah. Forgot about that. I've never heard of the Pathfinder Oracle either. Looks cool. Yes. Some people I've seen, they're like, oh, I don't know how to use it. Look, they even got a UFO one. And you know who the creator of where is it? The Earthbound Oracle is the same creator for this deck. And you'll know by this card if you're into Oracle and you're into the Earthbound Oracle. I'll show you because I have the Earthbound like right here. I think I do. Are you there? Yes, you are. You're here. This one. Oh my goodness, I love this deck. This one might have to stay out. Transformation. Look, there's another. With their time, they like to do hourglasses. So this is the same creator of this deck. I think, what's the name of the tarot deck? I don't have the tarot deck, but it's creator. Oh, look at Labor. Oh my gosh. This is such a good deck. Tarot. And you're like, well, what makes it a good deck? Because the messages are clear. It's a great clarifier. With a bigger tarot reading, you could just pull 1 to 3 cards for a quick reading, a message. It works well for readings for yourself. You can go as deep as you want to with introspection work, or it could be great for doing readings for a quick read for friends. Sometimes this is the one I'll take in my bag. When I'm going to hang out with friends who know I'm a reader and they're like, can you pull a card for me? And then I'll, pull a card for them. What? So good. I was actually going to be doing readings for y'all. I was not expecting to go down Oracle Lane. I wasn't. But I love the question that Adam brought up. Because now I'm like, okay, I think I might have some decks already in the collection I can call upon. Maybe, I started working on the expansion packs of my Secrets Revealed Crew Trine. Oh my gosh. I can't talk today. True Crime Oracle. And I made additional 20 cards. But maybe I'll do a conspiracy theory expansion pack. So yeah, I just got a hit of that. And then it'll be very inexpensive for people. It'll be small. I might make it maybe quite a few more cards than 20. But I'm taking my 160 card deck and splitting it into more smaller decks in case people want to like mix and match their cards. So that's the process. And then I've included keywords like alibi and gloves to certain, snitch. Yeah, I've included some additional keywords. So that's been fun. I've been working on that. The Wooden Tarot, that is correct. That is correct. I do politics for home. Exactly. And sometimes doing political readings is too close for me. I have to like take a step back. And my channel has always been a place where, yeah, we may talk about some challenging things, but I wanted to feel like a safe space for the most part, or a place that we're raising awareness for folks in terms of like missing persons or people who've been victimized, but also upliftment, readings, like what's your spiritual gift readings or how to raise your vibration readings, doing readings if I do readings, my collection videos, for those who collect decks like I do, we get a chance to so it's a lifestyle channel. It's not really heavy duty politics. And when I left the US, I needed to leave behind a lot of anxiety that I held for a long time being in the US and being very politically involved and active and passionate. It starts to take a toll on you. So I had to be like, girl, you need a break. You can go back to it and you can still do your civic duties and all of the things, but you need to take a break because it was causing me panic attacks. It was not good. It's very polarizing, the US political climate, and it makes me very sad. Makes me sad. Because I remember as a young person before I could even vote, how I loved how we could have discourse and talk and from different sides of the aisle. And we end up landing on something that works, or we try it out. We vote something in, a proposition, and we vote it in and we try it out. And then you're like, oh, it doesn't work. So you vote again some other time and work it out. That felt good to me. And now with my old eyes, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like it was just a setup to lull us into thinking that we actually had some sort of like influence and power. I don't know. Sad. So political readings, I can do them. Oh, I can do them. I have. And I've even thought about publishing some back in the day when I was in the States, but I just thought, y'all, if y'all saw some of the comments that would come through, even when I was talking about, political, or not political, but police violence against Blacks, that was heavy. I'm getting emails. I'm getting weird comments in the middle of the night. I'm getting DMs. And I'm like, really? Yeah, the Lungs Oracle one for sure. For sure. It is the Wooden Tarot. That is the creator of the Pathfinder Oracle. Where are you? And the Earthbound is the Wooden Tarot. I hadn't gotten it yet. At one point, it was on my wish list way back when the decks first came out. But then I was like, oh, Kim, you know how you feel about animal tarot decks. So just pump your brakes. I can do decks with some animals, like the Curious Travels, but I can't do like all animals. I don't think it's all animals in the Wooden Tarot. I don't think. I could be wrong. Yeah. And if I got it, I wouldn't be mad. Like, I wouldn't be mad. Yeah. Political readings can be very dividing and triggering. It can. They also always lean into conspiracy. Exactly. If I do readings, I want to be with this like much objectivity as possible. And if I did it with another person, I would hope that the other person tries to bring forth that energy as well. It's like like in the United States, when we do jury duty and they tell you, okay, we know you got all these preconceived notions, but we're asking you to judge based on the evidence and based on what you're allowed to hear and basically be objective. And what's beautiful to see, if you've ever served on a jury, is people, for the most part, really try to live up to that. And that's what I wish would transfer over to other aspects of the, the people's part of the whole political soup bowl. Because, you got the politicians and you got the judicial, the courts, and then you got, Congress and them and in the Senate, and then you got us, the people. I need the people to get themselves together. I need them to get themselves together, and and that's frustrating for sure. I was starting to have panic attacks that wake me up out of my sleep before we moved here. And I was like, something has to change. And I'm not convinced that medication alone would help. I was trying everything and nothing was like working. I was like, I need a whole like different environment and lifestyle change if I'm going to mentally make it. So I'm happy to report I do not have panic attacks that wake me up out of my sleep anymore. They could happen, I suppose, but I've been able to manage them. I'm anti all politics, anti system in general. I don't trust any of them. So it's fine for me to do political readings. See, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Adam. Like, I just, if you're too charged on one side or the other, you're not going to be able to really navigate what really needs to be navigated in a way that's helpful. I want my readings, and that's the other thing too. I want readings that can generally be helpful in one way or the other. If it's bringing peace, or it's giving guidance, or it's helping us to communicate better with one another, or to raise our vibration. With mystery mystic readings, it could be to bring awareness or to let people know that they're seen and heard, like the friends and family of victims. If it's, the only thing that feels a little bit hokey to me is like celebrity readings. Because it's like, well, what are you doing? What, I guess in that way, it might just be for us who follow along celebrity life, and we can have that camaraderie. So it's building community in that way. But the thrust of my readings, I want to have a positive impact and to be a blessing on people, whatever that blessing is. And so if I'm doing like readings that start triggering folks just for the sake of getting views and stuff like that, or I don't know, that doesn't feel good to me. So I won't do it. Hello, how are you? I was thinking about you the other day. I was thinking about your travels and wondering how everything was going. Um, just thinking about you. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Hi, Mary. It is stressful here in the US. It is. And I'm not even there, but I get the vibration. I can feel it because I'm linked. The lungs card we saw, and we're all like, did I shuffle it again? We're all like interconnected, and even if you go super far away, I can still it's like a visceral reaction, like when you all are going through something. Like, let me show you some of the cards that remind me of that. The connection I feel to y'all in the US is so deep. It's so deep. Try as I might. Yeah, I'm connected to y'all. And you're connected to me. Let me see. Hello. Hi, welcome. I'm happy you're here. Thank you for joining. Hi, friends. Hey, Scott. So we got Karen, Care Bear, and Scott. Hey, friends. We're just sitting up here shooting the breeze. I was supposed to be pulling cards, but then Adam asked me a out of this world question about what if like what really took out the dinosaurs. So we did that. I've been showing all these different oracle decks that I got. So yeah, we've been having a good time, a very, very good time. And just updating you all with what's happening, what's going on. I don't follow or care about celebrities and don't do. Oh, and we were talking about political readings and the political climate in the US and what, whether we would do them. Do I do them? No, yes, no, maybe so. And then we also talked about celebrity readings. So I don't follow or care about celebrities and don't do readings on them usually. But I did do a reading on Liam Payne's death, which was very, very sad and heavy. Yeah, I saw that. And I saw where people were doing readings on it. And I was like, I just can't. I could literally, when it came out, like all the drugs he was on, I was like, oh God. Sometimes when you do those types of readings, you pick up on some of that weight of that energy, and it can be very, very heavy. And so I was like, no. And that's the same with like people were doing like the readings on like P. Diddy and stuff. I was like, no, I have to keep my vibration up. My heart goes out to all those affected by whatever is going on with that situation. But I was like, I have to draw the line. But yeah, I'm connected to y'all. Like, so no matter how far I go, here's the lungs card. I could go probably to Ethiopia and I'll still be like connected because it's like, expats around the world. We're still connected to the US and we're still affected by what's going on there. And it's exciting because I'm going to vote all the way from here. So that's exciting. Like, I don't think I did. I'll be honest. I didn't vote we voted before in the last presidential election because we were still in the States. But I haven't been, shame on me, I hadn't been voting in like the smaller elections and stuff in the sense, but I'm going to be voting this time. So I'm excited about that. Do my civic duty from afar. I know, watching the news, it was that was also what I had to eliminate to prevent or to minimize my waking me up out of my sleep panic attacks. I was watching like the news at night before I would go to sleep, and that was no good. And then my husband, he used to have an old radio, which is cool. I love old radio. I love the sound that comes out of a radio. The same thing like with record players where it's like kind of crackling and carrying on. I love that. But he would play NPR, the National Public Radio channel or whatever, NPR. And I used to think, oh, this is so kind of nice to fall asleep to, because he would have it up barely and you can kind of hear the news. But it would inevitably start to infiltrate the dreams. And it was not good. So we had to eliminate what we were taking in at bedtime. Or I tried to. Still didn't really help. Hey, Jackie, welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for being here. You came back from Turkey. Oh, I bet it's they say mucho frío. Very, very cold, muy frío. In Scotland. Oh my God. Did you enjoy Turkey? I saw a video maybe this past week. I was like, I'd love to visit Turkey one day. There's a lady, a YouTuber, and she's young. She's like 26, but she like started traveling, super successful. And one of the places she went to was Turkey. And so she's got like a travel vlog, and she was taking us on her journey. But I was like, oh, it's warm here in South Carolina. Okay. So you're in that last, how it gets super kind of warm in autumn right before you get into that cold, the first frost. Yeah. I did one on Kim and P. Diddy with, oh, now that was interesting. So Kim Porter and P. Diddy with the cat full of spiders tarot. It was spooky. Did you put it on your channel? I would be interested in watching. Like, I can watch other people's readings, but and I'll watch yours. But some of the other people who've done readings on, I'm like, oh gosh, like, are you doing any protection work for us, for yourself and for your viewers? Because I feel like if I watch this, it's gonna be bad. But I know with you, like, I could watch that. I was curious about Kim Porter's death myself. I was curious. I couldn't read on celebrities' death either. We all have our boundaries, especially in readings, exactly. And yeah, yeah, it was like, I don't know. It's too, yeah, I don't know. And especially when it's pretty clear. I mean, not that there is anything wrong. Some people want to know a bit more, and some people think that there's some sort of conspiratorial theory going on with his death. But I just, as someone who has had to grapple with maintaining my own mental health and, and keeping it together, I just was like, ooh, I don't know if that's a safe space to go for me. And it's, yes, it's certainly a respect thing for the person who's passed, but for your own well-being, you just, be very careful about the readings you take on and what you do. Even with client readings, just be mindful of that. Hey, hey, hey. Kim, could we ask about whether, so the other day, vampires came up in my mind. It was so interesting. What was I? Oh, I was watching 90 Day Fiance. I'm so late to the party. So late to the party. I did not ever watch 90 Day Fiance. It was like, what is that about? It sounds crazy. So I started watching reruns. And I think this guy, he's from Romania or somewhere. And then the lady who's trying to be with the guy, she said some kind of reference to, like, maybe like not Transylvania or something, but like a vampire. And I was like, be a vampire. I would love to be a vampire. I know some people are like, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't want to be a vampire. I think I would. I was like, I want to be a vampire. And that thought came up in my mind like a few days ago because I've been binging 90 Day Fiance reruns. I shouldn't have opened up that Pandora's box. I'll ask. I'll just pull a card. Did they in some form or fashion exist? So we'll ask. I'm gonna put a star right there. Yes, I'm gonna come back to that. Now that the show exists. That exists. And intentionally and unintentionally. And she might be unintentionally your mother-in-law. But modern day vampires in the form of emotional vampires, that is a thing. I'm going to circle back up to your vampires question, Anna. We're going to see. We're going to play with the cards and see. I'm like, do I have a vampire deck? I do have a vampire deck. Not all vampires, but it's got vampires in it. I didn't put the reading on the channel, but I may. Okay. Well, if you because you and I will be chatting one-on-one, if you want to give me the gist of it, or if you're comfortable with me watching your unlisted video, that's fine. I don't I don't push. I get it. Like, sometimes it's just meant for your eyes only. But you said like, ooh, some interesting stuff came up. That would be messed up if P. Diddy allegedly had anything to do with Kim Porter's death. But I wouldn't be necessarily surprised because of all that she knew. But she was the mother of his children. Heavy, heavy stuff, right? Heavy, heavy. Absolutely beautiful. I really enjoyed. Thanks. Need somewhere new for next time, though. I'm so glad you gave me the push to venture out and start exploring. This is how it worked, right? We got together collectively. I was throwing cards, and you asked for a reading, and I was like, "Yeah, it's time. It's time for you to go. It's time. You got to do this." And you did it, and you kept me posted. So I remember. I remember. That touches me. It is a cool question. All right, we're gonna get back to it. But first, I'm gonna go through the comments and see what Karen says. I have a lot of vampire dreams, always running away. You know, I used to have a lot of vampire dreams back in the day. I remember it as a young person. I wonder what that signifies or what it represents for our dream interpreters. Always running away to not get bit because it isn't a pretty thing in my dreams. Yeah, like if you see some of the vampire um, movies, sometimes they can like. I don't like when they necessarily over romanticize the bite. I know that sounds so graphic and so crazy. You have to understand, I'm an '80s baby, and I I loved horror and all the things, but I don't want it to be so like, oh, it's so like sexy. I want it to be gory. So bad. Oh yeah, your scare mare from childhood for sure. I could see why. But then there's this part of surrendering and just letting yourself be bit for eternal, and then you have eternal. Well, not everyone has eternal life, but you could get eternal life. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So we're gonna try this. I'm gonna use the Bohemian Gothic. And the reason I'm going to use this one, because if the vampire, like, there's like only, what, a couple of vampire cards in here. If that comes out, let me go back up to Adam's question. First, I guess we're gonna look for an affirmative or a negative. Vampires, did they really exist in history? I don't know. I feel like I read like a story, like some kind of form of, I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe I'm mixing up Interview with a Vampire. Maybe that's what I'm like. I read somewhere. No, I don't know if I read that. I'm like, we asked about whether vampires really existed in history. Well, do they exist now? Okay. Don't shoot the messenger. And I'm a little disappointed. I'm gonna share them with you. I'm just gonna share all the cards were in reverse, but I'll show you them upright. So when I asked about the past, did vampires exist? We got the Two of Swords and the Five of Swords. They were all three cards were in reverse, so I don't know. But this one for sure is a no card for me. The Two of Swords is kind of like maybe energy, and maybe that's why I was like, maybe somebody thought they were vampires running around and like biting people, and I don't know. In the past, I'm getting a no. I don't know. And then in the present, I got Eight of Swords. This is also a no card. I'll pull from the Enigma because that one really showed out with the lungs card and the dinosaurs reading. Vampires. I want them to exist. I don't know. I'll show you the card. I want them to exist. I find the whole idea of them creepy and cool, and the sensuality comes from like that comes from like you get that close to bite someone. I don't know. I just like them. I know they're dangerous. I don't know. I'm gonna show you these two cards and you tell me what you think. I get a no from all of these swords here. And they were all in the reverse position anyway. We got 19 duality and the soul. I don't know, friends. The soul. I'm gonna look. That's what you all are saying. I'm gonna look at my little Enigma guide. This is card number 19, duality. Connection of opposites, oscillation, black and white thinking, need to harmonize. Like black and white. Like it's black and white here. It's the answer. And then the soul, it's number 34. Radiance inside each being, driving force, curiosity, outreach. Just stories, I think, of lore, of vampires, fantastical stories that connect us, like fables. I don't know. That's what I get. You tell me if y'all pull some cards on if there were vampires and y'all got something different. You know, I'm super supportive of whatever comes up in people's readings because I'm like, share. Let me hear it. Bring it. Okay, fill me in. So give me the tea, the scoop, because I am nosy. She and I share the same name, and I just remember hearing like the cause of her death, and I was like, okay, I suppose that could be natural. But I've also seen where people have that listed as a cause of death from my experience with mystery mystic readings, and it later turned out it was like, that's not it. You got to dig a little deeper, do a little more test. Oh, Salem's Lot. Tis the season for for some scary time stuff. I've been like saving a bunch of like books I kind of want to read, like some thrillers and things on my Kindle, and then shows I've been like putting on my watch list because I'm hoping to have a scare weekend leaning into Halloween. My daughter, they're supposed to be doing trick or treating by the beach. And my daughter doesn't want to do it. I think she's aged out of caring about Halloween. Oh, I'm kind of sad. I want some candy. Tarot of the Haunted House. The Wands Courts are vampires. Thank you. So now I have 2 decks that have vampires. Like, yeah. So thank you. I have 2 decks. I don't think I have any other decks that have vampires. And now you're right. I'm going to check that out. I should pull that one out. I like the Tarot of the Haunted House. Hey, my friends. Hello. How are you doing? Auntie K in the house. We're just chit-chatting. I tried to read Interview with the Vampire so many times. I didn't connect. You know, I did try to read the book too. I tried. Oh, I tried. I tried to like the movie. I went with a friend when it came out, way back when she was totally into Brad Pitt. She was a huge fan. So I went to the movies, couldn't get into it as a young person. I watched it like earlier this year. My husband had it playing, and I really got into it. I was like, I really like this story. But let me tell you, back when I was trying, and it was not. I also had a hard time with Bram Stoker's Dracula. And then when I was older, I could appreciate it. They had us trying to read that in junior high or high school. And I just was like, this is too much for me. Too much for me. Yes, we're asking interesting questions. And so that's what I'm hoping for the next joint collaboration that I do, like with Althea Grace, or even you on TK. We could do a joint collaboration where we answer these kind of like questions. And I'll just be honest with what I see. Like, now y'all might see something totally different. There's a werewolf in this one, in the 5 of Swords. Are there werewolves? Maybe. But the vampires, I'm not getting that with these cards. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna pull out the Tarot of Haunted House. I completely forgot that they have vampires. The deck showed out. I think I feel like that's a Southern saying too. They showed out. Like yes. Maybe vampires, pop culture isn't the right version of what they really are. Maybe there are other types. That's what I was thinking. That's why I was like, maybe the Two of Swords is like, it's not quite what you all are thinking. In your understanding of what a vampire is. A vampire could be some other type of being or some type of condition, a condition, you know. One of the things that scares me about like the zombie apocalypse idea is like, oh, I don't want to be a zombie. Would I want to be a vampire who has free agency? Yes. I don't want to be a zombie where you're just kind of walking around. And what could be scary is some kind of virus that makes a zombie like, or a drug or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. So in that way, there could be vampires. And maybe that's what that Two of Swords with the soul and duality cards from the Enigma Oracle are talking about. There you are. We're not able to see it or understand it. Yep, got to dig deeper. And so that would call into definitely needing to explore a little bit more about vampires or vampire-like energy. Maybe that's more what it is. I read Bram Stoker's Dracula again last year. It's so good. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm going to try. I watched the movie, but I'm going to try and read the book because I remember in school, they gave us a reading list. And I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to read Dracula, like for sure. Like everything else was like super classical literature. And I was like, I don't want to read that stuff. But then it was so like, it was so dense, the prose. And I was like, yeah. But now I bet I would appreciate it. So I'm going to try and get it because I'm pretty sure I could probably get it for free through Kindle Unlimited since it's a classic. I think it's a classic. I'm a wimp. Can't watch scary movies, but I'm okay with movies like Interview with the Vampires. Wow. Yeah, I love horror. Now I like psychological thrillers more. Those have been the reigning genre for me. But when I was younger, I love horror. Love, 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 love. Yeah. Oh, now that is something interesting that you said, Adam. When you see this card, they walk amongst us and and they are like these supreme beings. And maybe they're also they are in our past, they're in our present, and their future because they are the elite. I don't know. The duality card maybe could speak to that. Yeah, the movie is dope. I read the book first, loved it. Then when the movie came out, it was good, but the book was better. Yeah, most times the book is better. I ask my tarot questions like this all the time. I was doing a Raya reading. Now I know I'm mispronouncing it, but I know, like, because well, I know. Yeah. And Carolyn, oh yeah, you asked about it in your video on your video tag you did haunted tag. One of the creepiest types of readings you've done. That's one of your questions, and I'm looking forward to answering that because, yeah, I have some ideas on some creepy readings. What creepy readings have you all did? The creepiest readings or unusual readings? What would you say that would be? What would you say? You have Scott has the Tarot of Vampires and Tarot of the Vampires with a Y. Okay, yeah, there are two different ones. The latter is a bit heavy for regular reads. Okay. Oh, I know of the one with the Y, and I know that there's two. I got to look at the one with the I. I'm gonna look at it. Erotic. Yes, that's right. I'm all giggly like a schoolgirl. Yeah. Ooh, Frankenstein is another one. And I think what makes it a little more special for us as we get older and revisit these books is you can see like what it might be metaphorically speaking about, right? Like Frankenstein and somebody building this man. I don't know. You could just the themes will have a different meaning as we are older versus if we tried to read the books when we were younger. It's like our older understanding will be able to pick up on the nuances from the author. Like it's just I like revisiting books I read a long time ago or watching movies I watched a long time ago. Oops. I think questions like this are great learning action. I do too. I think it gets you out of the outside thinking. It calls for you to look at the images and look at the symbolism, look at the keywords. What is the keywords telling you? In the context of the question, what's really going on? So when you ask these types of questions that are not like, is he coming back to me? Or am I going to get a new job? Those are great too, to chew on, to learn how to do tarot. But these questions really get you going, gets your intuitive muscles activated, your imagination flowing. So that's why another thing I like to do these different types of readings, because you can learn so much and stretch yourself as a reader when you do them. You don't have to go broadcasting you do these types of readings. You just do them, sometimes I would do them in the bed, have my decks, TV on, something I see on, the TLC or the Learning Channel or whatever. I'm like, I'm going to shuffle about this. Let's see. Oh, I think I'm going to save it for the hashtag. I was going to share it with you all, but I'm going to save it for the hashtag of the haunted tag that you created and do the video response. Then I'll spoil it. So you won't watch the hashtag. I had to think about the creepiest readings. I will give you a clue. They do involve a little bit of a mediumship element. I'll say that. Not like ghosts, but tapping into those who have crossed over energy. So that's the clue. That's the clue. I know. You and I were here, Jackie. The ones that gets me chills are missing persons cases and true crime. Some things are so disturbing. I know. And lately, some heavy stuff have been coming down the pike. It's always heavy, but it's like, oh, this is so sad and so devastating to know people they're grieving and going through this. But I love how we can use these gifts. People are mediums and psychics and tarot card readers, and you can, think about certain things and maybe give a new perspective. Yeah, sure, those kind of readings are great for prediction, but they also get us to critical thinking about a case. For example, a true crime case, and you start to analyze what evidence is before us. Do we have any evidence? Why don't we have evidence? What's missing? Who are the key players? Are there any key players? It gets you thinking. Yeah. I asked many times. So Adam says, I asked many times about spirits and what types there are, such as trapped souls, residual energies, which is like a loop. Yes. Intelligent spirits that communicate via many ways. I get the spectrum is vast. Yes, indeedy. Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe in that too. And I suppose that would be key too as a reader. Like, do you believe in in these different energies and vast different arrays of spirit energy? And, you know, some people don't ascribe to that, and that's okay too. That's okay. I do. Exactly, Kim. Me too. In the bed for my husband just rolls the dice. I know. I know. I got Dex in the bed. He's like, just yeah, just roll your eyes. Don't mind me. There's just it's a sight to see. But it's my happy place to have Dex in the bed. And yeah, I don't want to know. Or like, what are you doing? Why do you have all these decks in the bed? Yeah, such my life. Could we ask why some spirits don't move on to the next realm, unfinished business, or are they forced to stay for some reason? And that brings up you both, not you both, but y'all have recommended to me the unfinished business tarot. I wonder if that deck is something that can tap into those energies. For those who have the unfinished business tarot, let me know because I'm curious. But this I might save. I'm going to screen grab it because I feel like this needs to be a reading I sit with. Like I might have to do some scrying with it because there could be a variety. My intuition is saying there's a variety of reasons why people like spirits, I guess animal spirits too, for that matter, do not move on. And so then I want to see, well, what are the different reasons that they don't move on? I suppose it could be one main reason, but I sense it could be a variety of reasons. And so I would want to hit on those. And then I would want to hit on, are they being forced to stay and stick it out? You could start to branch into all sorts of directions with this reading. So maybe what I end up doing is maybe not a true crime mystery mystic reading. I do a reading. I just got to figure out a title for this. I guess why some spirits don't move on to the next realm could be the title. But yeah, I'm going to save that one because I want to sit with that. I want to actually look at the different reasons. I'm going to save that to my computer. True crime and tarot do go well together, I think. People might be surprised that there's a whole sector of folk who do true crime readings, but there are, and they do go well together. And if you can try to remain objective, it's one of those areas with readings. I mean, objectivity really goes a long way and helps you out in any kind of readings you're doing. But especially it's important for true crime readings. It just really, you don't know. Like, how do I say this? There have been times where people have reached out to me who are close to victims and appreciated my approach to how I handle those readings. And that matters to me. I don't want to be disrespectful. And they say I pick up on certain things that they can't believe. And sometimes I'll say stuff and I'm like, I don't know. I like got goosebumps now. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I just feel the need to say it. And that thing that I feel the need to say, but I don't know why, is the thing that the loved ones pick up on. And so I want it to be where, yes, we may be tackling very sensitive subjects, especially with loved ones who could potentially watch. And so there is this greater level of responsibility with those kind of readings if you're going to put them on your channel, to be respectful. I have seen some grotesque behavior with those who have done readings in fighting with loved ones and parents of the deceased. And I'm like, that's not cool. As if you ever have been a victim of some sort of crime or had a loved one who has dealt with that, you know how painful that could be. And then hearing them say really disparaging things about your loved one or even you, or suspecting you as someone who caused something, that could be devastating. So I don't know. That's my soapbox. That's definitely my soapbox. I do too. And I've been visiting older cases because I think that those still warrant attention, just like new cases. Um, I also get people who close loved ones who thank me for keeping the name of their loved one up and in the algorithm because it seems that people have forgotten. So, yeah, spirit really interests me. Me too. Me too. I do too. I would love to be able to help in a genuine way, even if it's just to keep their memory alive, to keep attention on it. Exactly. And that, yeah, are we solving cases? Some people do solve cases or pick up on things that are like spooky, like really trippy and really spooky and predict outcomes. But oftentimes, if you're starting to go into those kind of readings with this thing of I'm going to break and solve the case, well, I don't know. I just go into it with the intention of I want to be a light and illumination to what are bits of information that we are prepared to receive, and that it let the people who are close to the situation know if they're on the right track or if they may need to maybe just consider, maybe they already have, look in this direction. So yeah, a few cases that I've covered are now up in trial right now. Madeline Kingsbury, I did a whole series on, like, it's got its own playlist, and the person who is accused of taking her life is up on trial actually even today. I don't know if they're doing, no, I think they're still very much in the trial. Then there's also Quentin Simon, the little boy whose mom took his life. That's on trial this week. So what I do is I go back and I look at the readings I've done, and I look at what cards came up and see how everything played out. I look at the timing. I look at what were some things that really stand out to me now that we're hearing the full story before the courts, but before the jury, and it's like, wow, that's trippy. That's trippy, especially what I'm finding in Madeline Kingsbury's case. Some things, even the cause of death was picked up in the cards. It was trippy. So Adam has let me see. Karen says, oh, I was looking at that deck Unfinished Business. Me too. It's on my wish list. I have not removed it. It's still there. But I'm trying to get a feel for how people are using it, what they use that deck for. Does it resonate with them? Just trying to get a feel. It's a beautiful deck. I have the Unfinished Business Tarot and find it very dense, heavy, profound, but also very confused in itself. It's very out of the box. Yeah, so sometimes decks will have that energy, and you're like, I don't know how to work with you. I have a few decks like that. I'm like, I don't know what to do with you yet. So we'll figure it out. Let's see. Carolyn says, I have the Unfinished Business Tarot, but haven't used it yet. Okay. Okay. What do you think about the size of the cards? You all who have it, what do you think about the size? Because they're a little bit larger. And I'm starting my hands after a day's work of working with the cards. I need the little ball. Like, I need some extras. Oh, I need the things that exercises your hands. You squeeze them. I'm gonna get that. I need to get those because my hands are like, they need some help. Karen says, my intuition tells me they stay out of fear, guilt, watching, waiting for another not yet passed on trauma, quick passing. I think there are several reasons. I agree. I think spirits linger in what do they call it, purgatory, and they linger in that area for a variety of reasons. And that makes sense to me. Huh. Yeah. Oh, okay. Adam's done a few readings for pets, both alive and dead, and surprisingly, they've been fascinating. I've only been asked a few times in my years of doing readings for clients to tap into pet energy. I think it's because I don't advertise myself as a pet reader. I'm not. I'm like, but every now and then, like, well, just try. I'm like, okay, fine. So we try, and they are fascinating. And I want to get a pet reading for my cat that passed on, and I would like to get a reading for Osita, our lovely Rottweiler. She's with us. She's here. She is here with us. And I also, let's see, pet readings, living or past, are some of my favorites to do, especially cats. Oh, I might have to commission or hire you to do a cat reading for my cat Trouble. He's a flame point Siamese cat, people in their construction. Gorgeous kitty, but kind of wild and rambunctious. And some people would say mean spirited, but I don't think he was mean spirited. He came from the mean streets of Oakland. So he had a rough start in the world when we adopted him. Let's see. Okay. That's how I came across your channel. Kim was missing person. He actually came from my town. Oh, which person? I'm curious. Yeah, a lot of you all have found me. And that's the curious thing. I should do a poll in the community tab area of how many people, or where did you find my channel, or what drew you to the channel? That might be interesting for me to know as a content creator. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Then I can then send you a donation. Catterday pet reads. Okay. Well, I've got a couple of cats to ask about. Yes, indeedy. Animal personalities came out in the cards. Kim, next time I do Catterday, stop by and I'll give you a reading. Oh, thank you. I will. And I'll send a donation too, because inquiring minds. I'm not the only one that would love to know. There's a couple of us in the family who believe in readings and miss trouble dearly. So we would love to hear what you have to say. I had a feral kitty. I get it. Yes. It's to love a feral cat is to say, like, I really love cats, because they can be a bit much. Evan, oh yeah. And that's the other thing about doing true crime ones, especially with missing persons cases, is either they go cold, and that's sad in and of itself, and that's de- depressing. But or there could be foul play attached, and that's also equally depressing. So missing persons cases are hard for me sometimes, because you want, at the end of the day, you want them to be found, preferably alive. But if you are doing those types of readings, you're going to run into situations where they're not. And sometimes I have to take a break, because it hits me as a human being, like, oh my God, you start to get attached to those people that you do those readings on, and not attached like, oh, I'm like pining for them, but just, you tap into their energies, and you want what's best for them and the people who love them. And then when you hear devastating news, it's sad. But hey, I've gone through a public devastating thing in my own life with my child, and people were super supportive despite, the ugly circumstances. So I'm like, well, sometimes there are ugly truths, and you still do the human thing, and you let people know that they're seen and heard. And that's why I do choose to still do those readings. But you also have to take breaks. Yes. I already know. the donation station. Go ahead and donate because I'm just going to pour it right back into Dex, right back into the channel, all the things. Real talk. Oh, I know. See what I'm saying? It's like, it hurts the gut. It hurts the gut. Mm. Yeah, and if people then contact me and go like, no, I don't want this on the channel. I'm rarely does that happen, but every now and then somebody, even if it's not a family member, I do end up sometimes unlisting the video because I don't want it to be something traumatizing for folks, you know? So there are times I don't have all the videos up. I take them down. I'll take some down. I'm working on pet oracles with special quotes for grief and one with special tips for owners. That is amazing. And I send you all the well wishes that is just you stay in that creative space and birth that baby. That sounds really cool and needed. I'm sure people would appreciate that deck. I would. And I pride myself on being semi loving of animals. Like I'm a city girl at heart, and I wasn't always into pets. But now that I've gotten older, I appreciate them. I appreciate them. So I also, before I let you all go, I got someone sent this card. I'll put it in the community tab because I thought that was so sweet. A subscriber sent me a card, and I get super excited when I get mail because I rarely get mail anymore. I mean, I get mail like junk mail that goes to my parents' house since I live out here. I don't really get mail like a card or a letter or a love, like a little package of love. So I wanted to thank Yena. And I remember when you asked, so I'm going to see if I can find the post where you asked for my address and find your YouTube username so I can do a proper thank you. But I wanted to thank you so much for sending me this card with all the cool stickers. And look what she sent in here. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find something that affix this to. I had a denim jacket, but it's gone. I shedded it. Now I don't wear jackets at all, but I'm gonna find something else. I think I have something that I can put this on. But I thank you for thinking of me and sending something all the way here, and it made it. It took a little while. And I was like, I had to get insistent. They were like, because it wasn't showing up in the mail system, the courier system for like a month. And I'm like, no, I think I got something, a piece of mail coming. And sure enough. So thank you so much for sending it. It says double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Ah, and when I do get cards, I am that person that saves her greeting cards. So I have a special little keepsake box for greeting cards. Remember greeting cards, peeps? I used to send them all the time when I was in the States. So thank you for thinking of me. Yeah, that's so sweet. I'm like, somebody in the world loves me. No, thank you. So to that end, friends, I've kept you all here long enough. We were just shooting the breeze. I was supposed to do readings for y'all, but I did a little impromptu pull at the start of the video, just a collective what's coming up for the weekend for us, or the energy to tap into and hold on to in the weekend and going into next week. So check that out at the start of the video. And I will be visiting Scott's channel next month again for readings. So I'll be over there, and I'll be back next week here, probably Thursday or Friday, sharing with you all my favorites for the month of October. And we'll be doing readings again. I'll put out more notice that I'm doing. I'm going to start doing like a 1 or 2 card pulls for people and just having a good time like we did. Just having a good time, friends. You know what I'm saying? Jackie, thank you for being here. Yes, I love old pictures, the little picture, whether it's Polaroid or when you do the 35 millimeter, you have to go down and get them, developed. I'm just kind of old school and I miss it. I save all of mine. And I do go back and look at them later. Some people are like, why are you saving these? Just toss them. I'm like, no, before we moved out here, I have a box of keepsake cards at my parents' house. I just could not bear the thought of throwing them away. Because oftentimes people leave very thoughtful messages in them. It was lovely hanging out with you too. Yes, yes, yes. I'm looking forward to hanging out with Scott on his channel, doing readings. It's so much fun to do collaborative readings. And then I'll be getting together with Althea Grace. I've got a few other folks that I'll be working with. Queen Osset and I are talking about doing a fun live coming up, hopefully next month. So stay tuned for that. We'll probably be over on her channel though. So I'll be putting it in the community tab. But yeah, there's more collabs coming. I love collabs. They're so much fun. Anyways, friends, thank you so much for being here. Do me a favor on your way out. Please hit the like button and leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing, what decks you're on, what was the creepiest, spookiest readings you've done as of late or ever. Share in the comments section. We love to hear from you. All right. Oh, you know it. My sister has been to Spain a few times. She's been to Barcelona. She's been to Madrid. There's one other place she's been, and she loves it. She used to travel internationally for work, and we were supposed to go, but then the pandemic happened. Yeah. And then she didn't work for the company anymore. So everything kind of went kaput. Bye, friends. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you all probably next week. Stay safe, friends. Bye for now.